My name is June Kim. I am the Executive Secretary for the World Hunger Poverty Program here at UMCOR, and have been taking the lead in managing the fair trade partnerships that UMCOR is establishing with various partners. And again, today we have Prosperity Candle, and here with us are Ted Barber and Siri Morley, who are co-founders of Prosperity Candle. And important but not least of all is Moo Kho. As you saw in the video, she is from Burma, or I guess Myanmar is what it's called now, a refugee who's resettled in Massachusetts, and she is here to tell her story of how Prosperity Candle and that partnership and has improved her life. So without further ado, I'll send the mic and the opportunity over to our friends here from Prosperity.
Ted's going to start.
Can you help with that? Thank you, June, and thank you all for being here. We're excited to share our story. Prosperity Candle invests in women to build peace and prosperity around the world. Our mission is to support women in places of conflict and natural disaster to earn above a living wage. And we do that through candle making and access to local and global markets. We started working in Iraq with widows, mostly with widows, and from there we have now added accessories that are made by Afghan women in soap making and embroidery. We're also working with Rwandan basket weavers and Haitian stone carvers. And we've begun here in the United States to complement our products from overseas with products that are made here by at-risk women, such as soaps, teas, and bath salts. Siri and I and our co-founder Amber Chan have come to this with backgrounds that include poverty alleviation, working in women's enterprises, fair trade importing, and working specifically in post-conflict countries. This work is much needed and it's very rewarding. But through the years, we've also noticed that there's a gap. As you saw in this video, there was one consistent problem that bothered us, and that was a lack of opportunity. So while all these projects that are going on that we've been helping out with are doing a great job of investing in women and building their capacity as entrepreneurs, often what the problem is a lack of opportunity. And what we decided to focus on is the ability for a woman to not just gain skills, but actually to put food on the table, buy medicines, send her kids to school, and actually thrive rather than just survive. And that's very important to us. Prosperity Candle was very specifically created to solve this problem, to fill this gap. We not only provide training to the women as entrepreneurs and leaders in their communities, but we also help ensure access to markets. And that's the key missing component that creates an opportunity. We chose candle making for very specific reasons. First is that candles are used everywhere. They're beautifully symbolic, but there's a global market for them, which means there's a local market for the women as well as access to international markets. Candle supplies are available everywhere, which is also very important. And then candle making is a very unique type of business that can grow quickly, which means a woman can scale it up and she can earn an income that's well above a living wage. And it also can be started in the safety of the home. So if we're working in places of conflict, we're very concerned that the opportunity that we're putting in place was one that allowed a woman, if she feared for her safety outside her home, she could still do the business from within her home. The point I just mentioned, the scalability is very, very important. To be able to go from $2 a day, which is poverty, to $10 a day, which is a living wage, to $50 or even $100 a day through candle making, which we consider prosperity and the ability to employ other women in the community, is why we created this and why we focus on candle making. So as I said earlier, we're not just focused on the ability for a woman to survive in difficult circumstances, we're looking at thriving. A year and a half ago, we decided to expand our mission and work with women from places of conflict as well, refugees who have been resettled in the United States. And this gave us the opportunity to not only meet wonderful people like Muko and her family, but also to have a local impact. And I have to say it's been one of the best decisions we've ever made. We approached Lutheran Social Services in West Springfield, Massachusetts, near where we're located, and asked what programs they have for refugees. And we met Muko the first day, and she's been with us ever since, thankfully. She is now our production manager, so she oversees all the candle making done by refugee women in our facility. She also finishes and oversees the finishing of candles from Iraq and assembles the gifts that include Afghan items, Haitian items, Rwandan items, etc. And I think it's fair to say that without Muko, Prosperity Candle would not be where it is today. And we certainly wouldn't have been able to deliver UMCOR's incredible order on time with perfect quality without Muko overseeing the production. I think it's wonderful to meet. We just had a Prosperity Candle gathering on Sunday at my home, and we met all the families and then some. And it was fantastic. Muko and her family are from Burma, and they were resettled in the United States after years of living in refugee camps. And she's a minister of the Baptist Church of Burma, and she has graciously offered to come here today and share her story. Muko?
Good afternoon. My name is Moo Kho Paw, and I came from Burma through Thailand refugee camp. I have 4 brothers. But I was born in Thailand. When I was 4 years old, my grandma brought me to Burma, and I grew up with my grandma in a small village. And she has a big garden. I want to show everybody how lovely my grandma's garden is. I miss her and her garden, and I promised my grandma to go back to her, but now she passed away. I did Bible school at Insane Township, Yangon State in Burma, and my school's name is Karen Baptist Theology of Seminary. I miss my village and think about it all the time. And in our village, we were scared the Burmese soldier because they were cruel the villager and hit the man and raped the girl. After that, killed them without reason. My grandma told me don't speak Burmese language. Nobody spoke Burmese language in our village because they hated the Burmese soldier. And when I was a child, I wanted to become a soldier and fight with a Burmese soldier. I went to the Thai refugee camp in 2005, and I served God like a pastor and a Bible school teacher. And I married in 2007. Now I have 3 girls. In refugee camp, we didn't have a chance to go outside and look for a job because Thai security got us and checked everything. And after we did high school in refugee camp, if we were not a Thai citizen, we didn't have a chance to go to the college. We have to stop our education in a refugee camp. I didn't have a plan to come to US because I promised my grandma to get back to her. But my husband, family made decision to come to US, and I came with them. And I like to start my life here and feel comfortable to stay here, but I don't like cold in Massachusetts. And I knew Prosperity Candle through Lutheran Social Services. And Prosperity Candle is my first job in USA. And I got my very first paycheck from Prosperity Candle. I'm very happy to work with Ted and Series. They are very, very nice persons. And I feel very happy when I heard the customer like those candles. And I think everybody wants to know, why do I love to make candle? Because the candle gives the light, and the light came from God. And Jesus said, you are the light of the world. And John chapter 1, verses 1 to 5 said, the light shine in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Thank you.
We should have ended with Muko, because this is a tough act to follow. This is Muko's first trip to New York City, and it's been so much fun being here with her. And last night we were in Times Square, and coincidentally Muko looked up to one of the big boards and saw Aung San Suu Kyi there accepting the Nobel Peace Prize and some of the coverage of it. It just seemed really symbolic, Muko's first trip here, and a Burmese leader and source of inspiration to everyone was being highlighted. So thank you for coming, Muko. And thank you to UMCOR again for having us and for all of your support. You've really helped propel our work forward in a very significant way. Prosperity Candle is only in our 3rd year. We're very young, so it's also an honor to be taken on as one of the fair trade partners UMCOR has, alongside such amazing leaders like Equal Exchange and Serve International. And I wanted just to quickly touch on a few things to tell you a little bit more about how we operate, what kind of structure we have, because it's a little unique, and also to talk about our plans moving forward in Haiti, which is happening this year, and to talk a little more about how we work with UMCOR and opportunities for other organizations to get involved and support us. So just quickly, we have both a for-profit and a nonprofit side. We're just getting the nonprofit going right now, and I actually will be leading the nonprofit as executive director by the end of the summer. And the idea is that as the business will always ensure the market access and the connection to customers like all of you, everyone who's received a candle from UMCOR. And then the nonprofit will really focus on the international work and the local work with women and making sure that we're not only training women in candle making, but that we're offering them an opportunity that can grow and scale, and that they have access to social support, that we're working with on-the-ground partners, like possibly in Haiti, UMCOR's project there. And so we found that the nonprofit and for-profit partnership under the Prosperity Candle umbrella is really the most effective way for us to grow. So that's a new exciting development that we have. And the nonprofit's first role will be expanding into Haiti, and by the fall, training 30 to 50 Haitian women in northern Haiti. And so this is very new. We have some retail partners that are interested in Haitian candles, and that's what's been pushing this part of the work forward. But we're very excited to be able to create jobs internationally in a place like Haiti, where there's so much need for stable economic opportunity. And then the exciting thing about the international growth is that Muko's role as a leader will continue to grow as she manages the fulfillment of orders from Haiti and the packaging and branding here in the United States. So we see the international and domestic sides really working together to grow both components. So stay tuned about Haiti. So we have a very big vision for our work. We're only 3 years old, but we aspire to work with thousands of women around the world. And so what I want to end with today is to say that we can't do it alone. Our model is based on partnerships with fantastic partners like UMCOR, and we are looking for more. The faith-based community has been just an amazing community that we've started to connect with in this last year. We've found the alignment of mission and vision, the focus on social justice, fair trade, refugee work, international relief, all has a lot in common with what we're doing. So as an example, I'd love to talk a little more about what we've done with UMCOR. UMCOR just in a few months has supported us to become a member of a fair trade organization, which is just being finalized now. So we've always had fair trade values as our core work, and now it's going to be official, thanks to UMCOR. We're also looking at how we can move our work forward in Haiti, so have a programmatic side to it. And then there's been a marketing side to our partnership where Judith and others here at UMCOR have helped share our story with the video. Mimi, Muko's colleague, she did a beautiful Mother's Day story. And so in exchange for all of that storytelling and support, we offer UMCOR 10% of all the sales that come through their network. And then we also have an UMCOR candle on our website that no matter who purchases it and whether or not it came from this network, 10% goes back to support UMCOR's work with refugees. And then the most exciting was the UMCOR order for the General Conference, which I hope many of you have seen those candles. Yeah, there's one here on the table. Because that order of 5,000 candles was the largest order we'd ever received. And that one order just from UMCOR helped us guarantee work for Muko and several other women refugees for 3 months. And so that's the kind of impact, you know, sometimes people feel like, oh, you shouldn't push products and shopping, does that really change things? But every single candle we sell enables us as an organization to offer long-term opportunity to women like Muko. And so we're very eager to grow that. Obviously, UMCOR alone can't order 5,000 candles every few months, but we'd love to find more organizations interested in really thinking about what types of gifts are you giving? Are you giving event gifts? Are you giving donor gifts? And where are you spending your money? And how can that money be channeled into something that really changes lives, that advances social justice? You know, so not just Prosperity Candle, but looking at Equal Exchange and Serve International. I think that's the beauty of fair trade, is that we're not asking you to buy more and spend more than you normally do, but just to shift your spending and your giving. One thing I wanted to be sure to mention is, you know, the direct impact you can see of the candle sales helps us employ women like Muko, but every person who receives a candle or buys a candle can actually connect to the woman, because on the label or story card accompanying every candle, there's the name of the woman that made it. So this one was made by Muko. Her name is here on the back. Yeah, we developed these wonderful story cards that were UMCOR's idea to kind of emphasize that story. But you can go to the website, read each woman's story of who made your candle, and even send her a message of support. So we're really trying to create a global connection. Most of our customers are women, so we say between women. And not have it be this anonymous trade, but really a feeling of you're making a specific impact for a woman with every candle that you use. So we'd love to, you know, as individuals, we'd love to have your support. If you go to our website, to prosperitycandle.com, be sure if you buy a candle in the checkout process to tell us you heard about us from UMCOR, because 10% will go back to the refugee programs. But if you also are with an organization that feels that you have a connection with some aspect of our work, we'd love to be in touch and see how we can collaborate. So I wanted just to share one quote we have from a woman we work with in Baghdad, Iraq, named Wafa. And we were incredibly inspired. We have a video by her on our website that you can find, where she is holding one of the very first candles we had made by Prosperity Candle, and she's holding it and looking right at the camera and saying, I want President Obama to see my candle, because I want him to know that Iraqi women can be independent and productive. And to us, that vision, that aspiration, it sums up for us so much about why we founded this and why this work is so important. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I know this is from 12 to 12:30, but Judith or Chris, do we have any time for questions?
If you would.
Okay. Any questions?
How many employees are there and how many locations?
So the question is how many employees there are and in how many locations?
So right now we're producing candles in Iraq, or we have been producing in Iraq, and we're going to Haiti next. In countries where we plan to go but aren't there yet, we're importing fairly traded accessories like baskets and embroidered items. And then in Massachusetts, to date, we've worked with 6 refugee women, and so some are coming in and getting their first job with us, and then they're also looking for other opportunities, so they've moved on to other jobs that suit their schedules or their needs better. But right now we have 3 women who are working on candle making in Massachusetts.
Any questions online? Or no? Okay.
I should add that over 100 have been trained in our candle making technique in Iraq, both by us and by other organizations that take our model and our kits, which is what we call a business in a box, and it can be flown into any situation because it contains everything a woman needs to start her own business. And so other organizations have taken that very unique kit and used it as a template to train more women. In fact, we don't really know how many women in Iraq have been trained in candle making.
It's really taken off.
Really taken off.
And the other countries we hope to go to in the future, Rwanda, Afghanistan. We've talked about the Congo and Sudan, you know, but well, again, it'll really depend on the partnerships.
Yes, one at a time.
Yeah.
I don't have a question. I just want to have some words of appreciation for your sharing your story with Muko. Yeah, and the partnership perspective. Looking for opportunities to spread this more. And since it was already introduced to a general conference, as many of you know, the UMW is having School of Missions all over the country. I taught in one in Pacific Northwest, and I will go to Kansas, and I would like to help bring your information and your story and bring some samples, so that's one partnership with the United Methodist Women as well. Also with some seminaries, especially related with different seminaries, like in Massachusetts there are seminaries there, School of Theology at Boston University. There are very good groups there that might be interested in this, and even in the ecumenical circles, I would like. And for me, it brings up so many interconnection of issues, such as how do we prevent war and conflict, so that there will be no displacement of people, there will be no detention camps and all these things. And for this also, you bring how women, when they are organized, can really transform the world. So I thank you very much.
Thank you, Liz. We have been in communications with the United Methodist Women to share the opportunities for Prosperity Candle. I mean, usually when women get behind a program or project, you know, the sky's the limit. So not only for United Methodist Women, but all the various faith communions and their women's networks, we hope to reach out and, you know, connect Prosperity Candles with. And those of you who are familiar with UMCOR, you know, we work in areas of, you know, disaster response. We work with, as our discipline mandates, would work with refugees, and, you know, hunger and poverty. So Prosperity Candles really, you know, exemplifies all the areas of work that UMCOR is mandated to do. And so it's a natural collaboration, and, you know, we really appreciate Prosperity Candle for this opportunity to be engaged in all different aspects of the work.